Okay, hey YouTube. It's time for another Q&A session based off of questions that were left on one of my Facebook posts. So that's facebook.com/loosebricks. Shameless self-promotion there. But based off of, basically just asking for video prompts a couple of weeks ago. And there were some questions that I didn't get around to answering. I did end up making videos about Hero. But some of the other questions were things like interior decorating tips for video bloggers, which I'm pretty sure is a facetious question. As you can see from the decor here in my room, I don't have much to say on that subject. Another question was around my wardrobe or my clothing. And I don't think that that's a particularly interesting thing to talk about. Not that fashion isn't, but more specifically, my fashion probably isn't the most interesting thing to talk about. Because it's very simple and, dare I say, basic. I own this sweater in probably half a dozen different colors, the exact same cut, because I like it and it works. I have a whole bunch of t-shirts that are all the same cut, different colors, tank tops. I do the same thing with long sleeve shirts as well, not just sweaters. And then even with sort of button-up shirts, a lot of them are, the same kind of cut but different colors, things like that. And the reason for this is mostly utilitarianism. If I find something I like the way it fits, get it in multiple colors rather than try to find many different things that fit. But then also because it makes traveling much easier, it makes getting dressed much easier because all of these pieces are sort of interchangeable. Either a bunch of tops goes with a certain group of bottoms, or vice versa. And so when it comes to packing for trips, it's very easy to say, okay, I'm going with this color scheme or that color scheme, and navy or black, and then just sort of throwing everything else in that goes with it, rather than picking out a whole bunch of individual outfits. And does that make me a little bit boring and plain? Yes. But that works for me. Other questions I got were telling people about myself, my views, my hopes, my dreams, things like that. And that could take, a decade worth of videos to get through. But I think the short and sweet answer is that I like to have things chime at me. But in addition to that, I guess healthy skepticism, and maybe that's where life is good, make it better comes from. Kind of the acknowledgement that things are pretty good as they are, for me, but that I can always make it better both for myself and for others as well. And so that's what I mean by healthy skepticism, is not just sort of being entirely, critical, cynical, negative, which is something that I've actually had to work on at various points in various ways. But recognizing that there's a more constructive way. That yes, there are bad things and they're bad, but we can work on them, we can make them better, or we can find better solutions to how we respond to those bad things, some of which can't be prevented, and things like that. And so that is ever increasingly my philosophy and something that I try to do, because I know I'm not there yet, but seeing the world as it could be, not as kind of at its worst.